Okay, my name is Lucy Chesire. I work as a TB advocacy advisor at the Action Project, which is hosted by Kenya AIDS NGO Consortium in Kenya. When you look at MDR-TB, someone basically develops resistance to isoniazid and rifampicin. And so what is definitely needed when it comes to the drugs is, one, a drug that would be able to be taken within a shorter time with a lower pill burden, and then of course be able to have absolutely no drug-to-drug interactions, because there's a huge problem of co-infection within the African continent. And then of course a drug that can guarantee that the person gets cured within the shortest time possible. That would be quite interesting to see in the near future, and I'm sure the Alliance is working towards that direction. The way world leaders react is pretty different. But the good thing is majority of them have been very, very receptive, because one, when you create that awareness about the huge burden of TB, and then leading, or even them being convinced in their hearts that they need to do something in relation to TB control, then you actually understand at that point that you're just not talking to yourself. They are basically listening to you, and you've been able to use whatever information you've given them to be able to move them into action, be it through raising the profile of TB, ensuring that their countries mobilize resources for TB control, and also being able to be champions for a major public health problem that continues to kill over 2 million people a year. And yet these are basically deaths that can be prevented at any one time. What I always say to the Europeans and the people in the developed world where TB is not a huge public health problem is their contribution to TB control goes a long way in ensuring that somebody gets cured from the disease. So when they hear that, it actually, fine, it's not my problem, but at the same time, getting them to understand that we are all connected by the air that we breathe, and therefore TB in Africa is TB in the US. Learning from Andrew Speaker's experience of having traveled from the US with MDR, going into Europe and back to the US, actually shows that we are all vulnerable because of the air that we breathe. And therefore, that's the need for us to be able to work together to be able to fight this global, growing, major public health problem. I say to them that given that opportunity to be able to talk about their own experience is not in vain. It has worked wonders for many other people who've gotten engaged in global TB advocacy, and therefore to encourage them and give them hope, not to get discouraged, irrespective of whatever they know about TB. Let's share the information we have, irrespective of where we come from, whether it's a slum, whether it's a big city, whether it's a football pitch, or whether it's a beautiful holiday spot like Cancun. We still all share the same message that TB is preventable, and we need to combine our efforts to address it.